friends, it's Miss Victoria from the Ridgewood Public Library. I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things about fall is going apple picking. With all the apples we gathered, my family has a good supply to eat, and I have lots of baking to do. For now, though, I'm inspired to experiment with apples. So that's the theme for today's Little Scientist program. We're going to learn why apples turn brown when you cut them and what you can do to delay that process. In order to do this, you will just need a few supplies that you might most likely already have at home. Plastic jars, apples, water, vinegar, lemon juice, and seltzer. You should have a grown-up help you cut and peel the apples. Here's our setup. I have labeled all the jars with the names of the liquids they contain. One jar does not have any liquid in it. This is called the control, and we will compare all the other apples to this one. Now we're going to observe a chemical reaction called oxidation. This is what happens when an enzyme or special protein in the apples comes into contact with oxygen in the air and causes them to turn brown. This process can take as little as a few minutes or many hours. We will see how the apple pieces look after 2.5 hours, 6 hours, 18 hours, and 24 hours. What do you notice? The control apples actually did not turn brown very quickly. The vinegar, which is highly acidic and much stronger than lemon juice, actually caused the apples to turn brown most quickly, even more so than the control apples. Submerging the apples in the water, seltzer, and lemon juice helped to slow the rate of oxidation, at least for a few hours. After about 6 hours, the apples in the water and seltzer were browning. Both the seltzer and the lemon juice contained amyl acid, which helps to keep the apples from turning brown. Lemon juice is more acidic though, so it works best to prevent oxidation. This is because it reacts with the oxygen before oxygen reacts with the apples. In fact, even after 3 days where the control apples were shriveled up, the apples in the lemon juice still looked fresh. So this is pretty cool stuff. It's also helpful to consider what you might do if you were to repeat this experiment, and you might incorporate some of these things when you do the experiment on your own at home. So the first thing I would try is refrigerating the apples in the liquids rather than leaving them at room temperature. I might also try using other liquids, such as milk or soda, to see if they have different effects on the browning process. You could also try using and comparing different types of apples. I used Roma apples in my experiment. I did not use any other types for a source of comparison. Another thing you might try is observing at different time intervals. I looked at the apples over the course of 24 hours or a full day, but you might try observing at shorter time intervals, such as 15 minutes for the first hour and then longer intervals after that. And lastly, I would try keeping the lids on the containers to make them more airtight. You may think of other things too. I hope you enjoyed our Little Scientist program, and I hope you have fun doing it on your own at home. Thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.